Hello, and welcome back to The Coco Show, hosted by myself, Colette Creighton, and my co-host, David Schwartz. This is a show where the banter at the top of the episode never ends, and neurodivergent or not, we are here to make you feel less alone about your human experience. We have no expectations, and neither should you.
You are listening to a sad episode of
The Coco Show. With changing seasons, days shortening, and gray, wet season upon us, I thought it would only be appropriate to give y'all the skinny on SAD. And I'm not talking about your regularly scheduled sadness that your depression provides you. I'm talking about seasonal affective disorder. Some facts, hot takes, and maybe even some tips. You'll just have to stick around to find out more. But before we get into the weeds, you know the drill. Ye fucking haws and hyperfixation time. I'll kick us off. My ye fucking haw is that I am going to Kim Petras next Monday.
Nice.
Originally, the plan was to take Dave and Tech Daddy. However, Dave decided he wanted to go to the ocean for his birthday. So celebrate at the ocean he shall.
Indeed.
Instead, I will be taking our boys Caleb and Jamal that are absolute look queens. So I cannot wait to post photos of our ensembles for y'all. And my hyperfixation is still the Halloween party. I have been really hitting music hard again this week. And you know, I love making playlists.
It's a fun playlist.
Thank you. And there's just something so satisfying about knowing that I'm making this one to like really tie the aesthetic, just making everything in the party one.
Cohesion.
I love it. Yes.
My fucking hot is that I'm going to Oregon. And I'm running away from society for like 4 days because I've had enough.
He needs it.
So that's going to be great. And then I'm excited to take the dogs. That'll be nice. Ranger and Rainier will really like that. Maybe we'll even take the kitties. Who knows? Maybe not. Probably a bad idea. My hyperfixation currently, is the news, but yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. It's just a lot of really heavy stuff going on, and it's really just, I think it's good we're talking about this today because it's all coming around, you know. Yeah. I have to say I've been enjoying the cloudiness. I've actually been like happy about it, but I understand that when the sun goes away, that it changes that for people. Yeah.
Well, I thought before we got into the heavier content to the day, we should tell our dear listeners about the little canceled date we ended up having, our little impromptu one.
The tutor event?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, feel free to jump in whenever. I just made a couple little bullet points of our cute little day.
So it was cute. We did kind of have a little date.
Yeah. So Dave got asked to do an event where we had already scheduled to do a play date. Him and Austie have this like book where you like scratch off little dates, and we were gonna go do one. But instead of picking an activity, David just told me to come with him. I said hell yeah. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Dave parks so immaculately.
Thank you.
And he parked into a spot that
about this.
would make a CDL driver cry.
What is CDL?
A commercial driver's license.
Oh,
so like
I should have one of those.
You should.
They should just give me one.
And I don't know if this is weird or not, but like people that park well, it's like such a turn on to me.
You're welcome.
And I was just like, David, stop. I didn't ask for this.
Let's just say we had to exit the back of the vehicle.
We did. We had to like.
That is how snug it was. We're talking centimeters on the left and inches on the right.
Yeah, it was unhinged, but Dave did such an immaculate job. And then we ended up having to fucking move
I was going to say, we had to move anyway.
Which was stupid, but whatever. We ended up getting better princess parking. True. So like in the end, it's okay. But we went to go set up. The bar was so neat. What was it called?
Oh man, I can look it up, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
The something. It's all red. It's very cute. I enjoyed the aesthetic. We set up a bunch of red uplighting, which absolutely slayed. It was like ambiance for this bougie watch buying party.
It very much transformed that space. Like, it was red before, but it wasn't like
it wasn't
giving sex dungeon, and then it was giving sex dungeon,
it was
which
sick.
apparently makes people want to buy really expensive watches.
Fuck yeah, we were here for it.
It was great. Yeah, it was kind of wild to just watch this. I have no idea how much money these people made, but boy howdy did they definitely covered my check. That's for sure.
Yeah, the watches, it was, from what I saw, it was like about $6,000 every 3 minutes on that little thing.
Something like that.
It was they were wild and out. And anyway, but before like the event actually started, we got to go sneak off, and we had happy hour at the Athenian and watched Golden Hour, reflect on the sound. It was beautiful. We took some selfies. We got some food, and then we got to go like walk through Empty Pike Place. It was like a lovely little moment we had.
Yeah, it was a nice time. I found the venue.
And it is called?
Did they tag them? Is it anywhere in here? Zigzag Cafe. That's
Zigzag.
it. Cool little spot. Mm-hmm. We turned like one of the restaurant booths into a little DJ booth, which was pretty crazy. Yeah. And we got it all set up, and I told the client, I was like, oh, don't worry, like, we're gonna keep the volume like real low. Like, in my head, I was like, we're playing very minimal background music for some watch sales. Like, people want to be able to hear what's going on and like ask their questions about watches, I guess. And like, we get there and we get all set up, and they're like, you need to crank it. It was so loud in there, I couldn't believe it. This was a small space and it was bumping, but it was giving buy expensive watch.
Yeah. Well, but also what you said that night, which made a lot of sense and I've been thinking about a lot lately, is that it adds a level of privacy to the event.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I mentioned.
Why does it do that though? That doesn't make sense to our dear listeners. It creates a sense of privacy because the music is so loud that you can't hear what other people's conversations are. So you have to get up and close to the person you're talking to and like basically spit in their ear. So it creates these little bubbles of social interaction that like you wouldn't normally get because, well, A, it was dark, B, it was just giving nightclub, and it was loud. So like you had to, if you wanted to like talk to somebody, you had to really get up next to them, kind of like,
which also creates intimacy
and oxytocin and all these other things, which apparently help sell watches. So
and help against seasonal affective disorder. So for a good little transition,
sure. Okay.
I just thought you guys would like to hear about that. Oh, and also, I just love our car time together and enjoyed our ride there and back.
Good talks that day.
We always do.
We're having good talks right now.
Yeah, we're always having good talks. It's almost like we should start a podcast.
Shit. It's a great idea.
What a great idea. Anyway, y'all know the drill. To move energy, you gotta move your body. We'll see you in a sec. And we're back. So let's start with some facts, shall we? Also, disclaimer, I'm not going to waste anybody's time by citing sources. If you want them, they will be in the description of the episode, if anybody cares. But again, I'm not a peer-reviewed queen. I do the best that I can in 2 to 3 hours, all right? So be lucky I give you that. Anyway. So seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, is a type of depression that occurs typically in fall and winter months when there's less natural sunlight. What that boils down to is insufficient natural light dims humans' internal light.
Well, what about, I mean, isn't it just a vitamin D deficiency? Like, where does that fall into the picture?
It's part of it.
Okay. Tell me more.
There wasn't actually that much that I saw.
Is this a real disease? Like,
yeah, it's a real disease. Okay. Basically, so no sun, no fun.
No sun, no fun.
Period. I was shocked to learn that only 5% of the population experiences sad.
But 100% of the population in Washington.
Yeah, very that. The prevalence increases in higher latitudes, and 9.7% of the population in Alaska have it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, but there's only parts of Alaska that are hella dark, like for an entire
most
season.
of Alaska is pretty dark in the winter.
Yeah.
I mean, think about being here. Sun goes down at 4 p.m.
Yeah, it goes down at like
up
2
at
there.
like 9. So I mean, you only got 9 to 10.
Yeah.
So you only get like.
I think their shortest day is like 4 hours or something.
Yeah,
it's like
I
really
mean,
depressing.
Yeah, even in southern Alaska, it's probably pretty dark most of the winter.
You couldn't fucking pay me.
And on our next segment, Ask an Alaskan. Ding.
I actually have a couple I could head up. I might just have to do that. Anyway, it's kind of hard to distinguish whether it's sad or just regular depression because symptoms include feelings of sadness, fatigue, changes in appetite, behaviors, social and otherwise, sleep patterns, and difficulty concentrating. So you are more likely to experience sad if you have another associated mood disorder, including major depressive disorder, also known as MAD. And like our old pal MAD, SAD can result in reduced work productivity and increased healthcare costs. So it's bad for the geese, no fucking sunlight, is bad for the gander, which is the human population. Shitty. They actually came out with a test called the Seasonal Pattern Assessment Questionnaire, also known as the SPAC, that I took last night. And it was developed in 1984. Some people think the accuracy is kind of suspect, but it is still used today by most SAD researchers, and you can score between 0 and 24, and I scored a 12. Right?
So 50% sad.
Apparently.
Got it.
Well, they're saying if it's above an 11, it's on the verge of being like debilitating. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're debilitated?
Not yet. Ask me in another month and a half.
Got it. I have to say, I mean, I love when the seasons change. Fall is like my favorite time of year. Obviously, Scorpio season. It's definitely my birthday. I love Halloween. Spooky season is so fun. Yeah, no, I get it in the winter. I'd say when it gets like, and it's just cold, wet, and dark, then I'll experience this. But I think October, November, I don't really get seasonal affected. So
yeah.
It's not until like Jan, Feb, maybe.
For sure. And generally, like if you have SAD, like I said, it's not the only mood disorder you're riding with, which tracks. So you're predisposed if you're already depressed to also have SAD. How'd y'all feel?
Oh, I mean, it makes sense. You look outside on a cloudy day, and there's definitely times where you're like, wow, it looks sad outside. I feel sad inside.
Exactly.
But then I look outside and I see the clouds, and I'm like, thank God. I'm so over this heat.
Sure. And it's interesting you say this because women are more likely to experience SAD than men. Depending on where I looked, it was like the ratio was 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. And from everything I read, it seems like it has to do with hormones, which is rude. We are dealing with enough. Okay. And I'm sorry to our non-binary listeners. I scoured the internet and couldn't find any studies for stats for non-binary folks. In relation to SAD, I did find one article that looked kind of promising, but it was only about Sweden. And it was it had way too much emphasis on winter eaters, which I was like, okay, I'm getting triggered. This publication is giving me the ick. I'm out of here. I was like, you bitches, leave me alone. Okay, so what do we do about it?
Interesting. Have they done a whole lot of scientific studies on the non-binary population? Like,
no.
I guess we should do more research
before
we comment.
Yeah, but from what I found when I looked, like they're like, there's insufficient evidence because there's been insufficient research.
Correct.
And I'm like, okay, so do more research then.
Correct.
But I'm sure they will eventually.
Got to get the funding.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
We need the shekels.
We need the shekels.
So what do we do about it, right? I'm telling you what this is, but what do we do? So according to the internet, treatments can include light therapy, which is a common and effective treatment for SAD. So you can get a SAD light. Personally, I don't like them.
You're talking about the ones you put on your desk
Yeah.
that shines vitamin. This just sounds like a vitamin D deficiency. Isn't that the same thing everyone in Seattle experiences?
Yeah, we do definitely need more vitamin D in the winter. That's absolutely a thing. But it's the lack of natural sunlight. And a couple of the articles I was saying was about direct sunlight in the morning is like critical to
Get
mental
your
health.
circadian rhythm going.
Yeah, it probably is very like caveman vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, longer exposure to morning light can help alleviate symptoms. So even if you only have a couple minutes to spare, go outside and just stick your face.
Well, what about red light therapy? Does that help with that?
I don't
think
know.
It does.
I didn't find anything about red light therapy.
I'm sure people that subscribe to red light therapy would say that it does help with that.
Therapy.
I think it's supposed to help with depression, vitamin D deficiency. Helps
red light therapy and
tighten your
seasonal
skin.
affective disorder. Red light therapy, otherwise known as photobiomodulation, is used to describe natural light treatments that most often include red and near infrared wavelengths. For mental health treatment, near wavelengths may be more effective in treating depression because they can reach a deeper into body tissues than red light. Okay, so no.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know
Jury's out. We need to do more research.
I don't know what NER is or if degree.
I just thought it was a relevant topic, so I brought it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure there is something to be said about red light. But light therapy is also found to be less effective in the evening, which I thought was interesting.
That makes sense. I mean, your body wants to go to sleep. It doesn't want more light. Like, we're trying to reduce our intake of blue light, certainly in the evening hours. You're not supposed to be checking your phone before bed or whatever they say. You should, like, not look at your phone for an hour before you go to sleep or something.
I certainly don't do that. We also have that setting on our phones to make it like yellow light or whatever.
Ah, yes. That is a nice one. I love how instantly your eyes just kind of like relax when you turn that one on.
Blue light is kind of ass.
It's the devil.
It is the devil. Also, staying in routine is important, especially in those winter months. Social rhythm disruptions such as irregular sleep patterns can contribute to symptoms. So if you're feeling extra cranky and like, God, I just can't handle this, be like, okay, am I on a schedule? The answer is no. Give yourself one.
That's so hard. I struggle with that immensely. I wake up and I'm like, this is what I should do first thing in the morning. And then guess what I don't do?
Yeah.
Eat, yoga, drink water, anything healthy for me other than sit down at my desk and start answering emails, which is definitely not healthy, but like needs to get done.
Do you ever make lists for yourself?
I mean, yeah, I make lists.
Do you like physically write them?
Like, wake up, do yoga.
Literally,
eat
yes.
food.
Literally,
Those
yes.
would be helpful things I could do for myself. But
I have like a legal pad.
no, my problem is, here's my issue. It's like, I'll be sleeping, unless I start getting really, what's the word? It starts with a D, not dedicated, but disciplined. At like waking up every day at 8 a.m. and taking an hour just for my morning routine, but I don't. I sleep as late as I can and then I like go into my first meeting. So that's my problem. Fix me.
Well,
only me can fix me.
That's right. That's right, everybody.
And I'm not doing much. So
listen, just start by making a list the night before. Like a little.
You're asking a lot.
I'm really not. Take maybe 30
All right, listeners,
seconds.
We're going to try this, but I'm not happy about it.
I'm not telling you to do it because I want you to do homework. I'm telling you to do it so you can fucking eat and not feel shitty.
I do
and
feel
not
shitty.
buy monsters.
That was my mistake. That was stupid. Could tell you about getting out of my routine. I went from my Celsius routine, which has no sugar, and I just bought a 4-pack. They looked good.
You didn't just buy one?
No, because the box was so cool.
Girl.
I bought 4 of them, and they had like 45 grams of sugar, and it was fucking disgusting. And literally.
And he drank the whole thing.
No, actually, I didn't even get through the whole thing. I only got through like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the can, and that's when I started having tummy issues. But Alas.
But then he took a Tums and he's back up.
I have been better since we tummed, indeed. So, thank you, Tums.
Shout out to that delightful little brand.
Shit's disgusting. Sorry.
Supporting hangovers.
I need to get the gummy ones or the like smooth ones because I bet those are better. Yeah.
I don't know. What I was telling David off air is I feel like, and let me know if you agree with me, I feel like eating Tums allows you to indulge in the intrusive thought you had as a child where you kind of wanted to bite the chalk.
Never had that thought. Did not look tasty. Chalky is a terrible texture and everyone knows it.
Yeah, but for some reason I really wanted to bite it.
Crayons a little more appetizing, I think.
Did I ever bite a crayon? I'm sure I've bitten a
crayon. They look
crayon.
chewy. You know, I definitely like left my teeth marks in some crayons.
Did you know that the obsession with like just chewing on something crunchy is a neurodivergent thing?
Is it?
Like just enjoying mouthfeel because it gives you dopamine.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's just stimulating. We love stimulation. That's why so many of us have oral fixation problems.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's pretty responsible for my obsession with like sour candy is like, I need to feel something. So it's like, twitch my eye, make my brain release chemicals.
Yeah.
Forcibly.
It works.
It works.
It's not great.
Pretty good.
It's not great, but there are worse things. Happy. Yeah, there are worse things.
And I am sad.
Sad.
And that's how we bring it back, folks.
Yeah, that's right. And another thing y'all can do is go to cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which is also an effective treatment. I've never done CBT. It's an interesting therapy setup because am I boring you?
No, I'm just sleepy.
Sorry.
Sugar crash, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was just low-hanging fruit. I had to grab for it, Anyway, CBT is like a little program. Like you graduate from CBT. It's like you go through several chapters of this learning style. And essentially, from what I understand, you're learning that dialectics are real, which means that two things can be true at the same time. Like you can be angry about a situation and find a way to deal with it, or you can be upset with someone and still love them. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be like black or white. It can be both.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so dialectics are super important, and that's why a lot of therapists are really fucking harp on the word and instead of but. Because when people say I love you but, it means something completely different than when somebody says blah, 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 and.
I love you, and I need you to do this.
Different. Yeah, I need you to do whatever differently.
I need you to speak to me this way.
Yeah. It hurts me when you do X, and I want you to know that I'm willing to work on this, or you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Blah, 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 blah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so CBT, according to the internet, is important. What helps me personally is keeping a consistent schedule. I require movement 5 times a week, even if it's just like literally putzing on a treadmill while I scroll on my phone. It still counts. Still movement.
Yeah, I've been not sticking to my like routines in terms of exercise. I've been playing hockey about once a week, but the problem is I kept injuring myself, so I like kind of kept hurting myself.
Were you stretching before?
I'm doing pretty good now. My knee feels like 90%, and my hip feels pretty much back to good. I don't have the endurance I did, but I just need to build it back up. So
you'll get there. Are you stretching before hockey?
Yeah. No, that's like if I have a game later, I'll stretch all day. I'll just be like getting my body ready for that. So
okay, cool.
That's good.
Cool. 2 planned hangs with pals a month. I think that's also important to have something on the calendar. So you have 1, something to look forward to, like short term. And 2, just connecting with your friends is so good for your brain. It really is. We just got to make time for our friends. Winter vacations and party planning.
Are you prescribing me a trip to Hawaii?
I am.
Love it.
It's necessary.
Amazing.
1 week
Thanks,
trip.
Doc.
You're welcome.
I do call her Dr. Coco in
He
my
does.
phone.
He
So
does.
whenever I have a haircut, it says Dr. Coco.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of sessions. Jeez, am I having a stroke?
Hope not.
Nothing smells like toast. I think we're okay. That's a symptom,
Thank
apparently. Thank God. Where was I going with that? Planning parties. Prescribing Hawaii. Yes, he calls me
Dr.
He calls me Dr. Coco. And I have probably given away hours of free therapy sessions.
This is true.
Like the amount of trickle down therapy that happens in my chair is so real. I talk to everyone about, all right, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for your mental health? Drinking enough water?
So, what's your trauma?
Yeah. It just kind of happens. People just want to tell me.
It's true.
And I want to listen.
Yeah, it's like very much a big part of obviously your technical skill as a hairdresser, but I think on top of that is just your connection with your clients, obviously. And yeah, they sit down in your chair and then all of a sudden, blah, 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 like just comes out.
Yeah. People
funny.
have countless times have just paused and go, I've never told anyone this before.
And
then I'm like, that's okay, you're safe here. And then they keep gabbing. And you know what? I love that for me. I love being a safe space for people. And I really love my job. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Winter vacations, if you can afford them, God, please go. Go and leave. Leave Washington, especially if you're here. I understand that not everyone is in this latitude, so it's not as important. But if you live in the Pacific Northwest, get the fuck out of here in January, February, March.
At least once.
At least once. For a couple days. For the love of God.
A little quick trip to Vegas will do.
Yeah, literally
Honestly,
anything.
Vegas in the winter is so lame. It is not warm. It is not nice out.
Really?
It's like cloudy and cold still, or it's just cold. I mean, Vegas is not warm year round. The pools are not open. No.
Judas.
Yeah.
The pools aren't open?
No. The pools close in like September. They close like early. It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm shook by this information.
And the only time I ever go to Vegas is like during the off season.
Yeah, for like a conference or whatever.
Conferences and stuff. So
sure.
Yeah, there's like almost never anything to do. Well, I don't know about that, but there's like, you want to like be like, I'm going to hang out by the pool, but you're like, it's cold.
Yeah, if I can't go to a day party in a slutty bikini,
I don't think you want to go to a day party in Vegas.
Why am I even here?
Have you seen the news about day parties in Vegas?
Well, I also haven't been to Vegas since like 2017.
They tested the water in the pools.
Oh no.
It is not okay.
Is it?
The children are not all right.
Is it still water?
I mean, it's probably either too acidic or too basic for
human.
You don't want to be in it. Yeah. I've heard real bad things. Great. And like they did a whole like, I think it was like a Q13 Fox situation on it, and like it did not end well for the casinos. They're like, what are you guys doing about this? And they're basically like, well, we believe that our pools are safe and we regularly test the water. Are you looking this up? Because it is nasty. We're talking like those pool parties in Vegas. Like it's probably half people peeing in the pool. It's half people like spilling their drinks in the pool. But like this water is not potable. It is not clean.
E. coli found in the water.
It is real bad. You can get like an STD or something just by like going in the water there. I could be wrong on that front, but it is bad. Yeah, it's disgusting. It was Inside Edition. That's what it was.
Inside Edition.
Inside Edition did the piece.
Marquee Day Club.
That's the one.
At the Cosmos. Cigarette butts, fingernails, and all kinds of disgusting foamy debris.
Yeah, it's the
water.
foam. There's just this layer of foam that starts going on top of the pools, and that's when you know it's bad.
Total bacteria count of 15 million.
Per what?
I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't sound good. So
the nasty foam floating throughout the pool tested positive for E. coli.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nasty? Yeah. So don't go to day parties in Vegas.
It's kind of similar to
Absolute
swimming
no.
in a toilet, Whittier
Exactly.
said.
That is correct. Yes.
No, but Whittier says their pool had a whopping bacteria count of 100 million and tested positive for E. coli.
Well, think about it this way. You've got like in this video that's on the screen right now, there's people like spraying champagne in the pool. Well, champagne has alcohol, and alcohol and sugar is a breeding ground for bacteria. So like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. People spilling drinks, people doing all sorts of things they shouldn't do there. So, I mean, I'd be one of them. I'd be one of those heathens.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
I've only ever been to Vegas once, and that was in 2017. So I suppose I will not be going back.
I mean, look at how many people are in that pool.
That is
You think
fucking
that
foul.
all of them go to the restroom when
They
they
have to
need to?
pee. No.
Absolutely not.
No.
They're like, oh, it's chlorinated. Oh, that is
my
some disgustingness. Who even knows what that is? It is.
Cigarette butts.
Well, I feel like that's not even the worst thing.
No, I know that foam.
That is so gross.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway,
Moving on.
Sorry guys.
Moving
Sorry
on.
guys.
We got stuck.
We got
hyperfixated.
We got.
We went down the rabbit hole real fast.
Anyway, I also listen to super high BPM music in the morning. I think that's important. Like sometimes I'll be bumping on the way to work, pretending like, okay, like we're going out.
I have a serious problem I want to talk about on air.
What?
Because here's what I do in the morning. I check the news, and it's so bad, and I can't stop doing it. I'm like, I wake up, I check the news, and I start consuming this shit, and it's awful. But like,
David,
there's so much happening.
I understand, and I hope I don't get hate for this, but Barb and I decided a couple years ago that I wasn't allowed to. I could check one source a day, one time, and that was it. And because I was making myself crazy, and if you remember, listeners from the past, I have shared on air that David, he's looking at the news right now.
Yeah, well, I was seeing if there was a new Speaker of the House yet. See? Nope, not yet.
David Lee, stop it. Anyway.
Quick check.
Ugh. Okay, David, wrong husband. Dan said to me that he felt after I got on Facebook, watched the news, like essentially checked any media source that wasn't just like me on Instagram. And also Instagram before I like curated my feed. Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Was that he was like, you become this like demon version of yourself. It's like I can sense your like not demonic, but like your energy is so dark and like depressing.
It is, but I'm like struggling to be like, especially with my job, it's like I'm supposed to go out and like make people have fun. And I'm like, there's so many, we are living in some precarious times. And it is so hard to like sit here and be like, yeah, we should be out partying right now when everything sucks.
Yeah, but the world could end tomorrow.
Yeah, it could.
So don't you want to go dancing?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, when you say it like that, kind of, yeah. Man, but I don't know, it's tough. I feel like it's so hard to like not
It is.
feel the feels, and especially with what's going on in the Middle East right now.
Yeah,
It's connected
it's
to all that.
horrific.
It's horrible.
And it's really scary, and I don't know anything about anything, and I can't, because the more I know, the more upset I get, and what can I do about it?
I think the other thing too is like just so many people saying some really despicable, hateful things online.
Very that. I'm just trying to go
on
like
all sides
this.
with every single. I mean, it's just
I've
hard
had
to
to-
even look like people are just screaming at each other, and that's it. It's like, what is this even doing? It's not doing anything.
I've had to mute so many people.
It's awful.
Because, I mean, and I know it's not a solution, but I just can't look at it. And I know that's a privilege. I understand that.
What else are we supposed to do?
So you can either drive yourself crazy, like I did in 2020, and then choose to be like, I can't. Or you can just go, la, 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 listen to your dance music in the morning and hype yourself up and
Do my yoga. Eat
yeah,
my food.
and guess what? Be the best. Show up as the best version of yourself so you can support the
Your community.
ecosystem
Yeah.
that needs your energy for everybody else to keep going.
All right. You sold me.
Am I wrong?
I'm still checking the news.
You
Maybe
can,
just not first thing in the morning.
I feel
Maybe that should be my goal.
I feel like that cannot be the fucking first thing you do. You know what I want you to do, David? This is what I do. Before I pick up my phone in the morning, except for to like snooze my alarm, obviously, is I make myself say at least 3 things that I am thankful for.
That's good.
And Kelsey and I, hi Kelsey, if you're listening, we just started this new thing. By 3:33 every day, we have to send each other 3 things that we're thankful for. Did I ever tell you this? I don't know if I told our listeners. And it's really helping us because we're also doing that because we both have SAD and regular depression and anxiety. And it's honestly really helpful because sometimes I will go a whole day after my little morning blip about it that I don't. And a thing I've also been practicing is just doing that anytime I get like super huffy, like I'm pissed about my commute or I'm pissed about this or pissed about that. And I'll do it in like a stompy way. And I'll be like, I'm fucking proud of myself for accomplishing what I have this year. And I'm mad and I'm happy that I have this stupid fucking car that I love, and stomping into work and being like, I'm grateful for all my wonderful clients, but I'm like in a mood. So, but I'm still doing it.
Yeah, it helps probably.
And then I like
mine. I see. I'm doing the opposite to myself. I'm like, there's all these really great things happening, but what about all these absolutely horrible things? Like, you can't forget about all the terrible things that are happening. It's just, it's hard to be like happy about how good things are when you realize like you're in the minority of people in this country, of people around the world, and there's just so much suffering. It's hard to even like be happy about what you're accomplishing right now, because it's like, yeah, my life is honestly like going really well, and like financially doing well, and like all things considered, health wise doing well, like family's doing well, like so many things. And it's just, I feel like I'm trying to remind myself that like, hey, not everyone is so fortunate. And I think I might be doing it in a little bit of a toxic way, and I need to figure out some sort of balance there.
Right.
Because I don't need to put myself in a depressive episode, certainly.
Yeah.
That doesn't help anyone. You know, it's like, how am I helping my community? How am I making my life better? And what am I really able to contribute if I'm bringing myself down as much as I can? Because I think I should, because I think that, you know, not that I don't deserve the things that I've gotten or whatever, but it's like, it's just, I don't know. I keep reminding myself that like things are really great for you, but like not for everyone. Like,
well, you can donate and do shit like that. But circling back to dialectics, you can have this wonderful life and terrible things can be happening to other people. And you can still do the most that you can to help.
Why is it so hard to feel good about it then? Because it's just like, I feel almost guilty for feeling good about these things, because it's like there's just so much crap.
Because we have Jewish mothers. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I mean,
let's blame them for everything. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Mom. It's not your fault. Not this time.
Not this time. But yeah, it's hard to get out of this cycle of constantly being like, well, I don't deserve this because all of this shit's happening. But you do. And you've worked really hard. And the world being on fire does not negate from the fact that you're doing really wonderfully in the 10th year of your business. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the world falling apart doesn't negate from the fact that I hit my first sales goal for the year already. You know, like
nice.
we're allowed to be.
Gotta take dubs. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I'm so sorry, but I refuse to, at this point in my life, allow everything to be fucking doom and gloom. I don't even watch horror movies anymore. Do you know how much I loved horror films?
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week, didn't we?
I don't know if we talked about it on air or not.
I think we did. But I was gonna say, like, oh gosh, it's escaping me now. But yeah, do you got anything? It'll come back.
It'll come back to you. Yeah, so high BPM music. If you want a playlist, send me a message, email me. I would love to add to your morning variety. What's up, babe?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, it's like, how do you do, like, what is Dan? Do you put your headphones in and then you do that
in the morning?
Yeah, or do you like wake up Dan?
It depends
in the process.
It depends on if he's up and downstairs already or not.
I think Austin and I need to do a better job of like no phones in the bed or something, but it's just unrealistic. It's just never gonna happen because we'll just both sit there and like fall asleep or wake up because we're both just like scrolling and then we roll out of bed. And that's like not a good way to wake up, you know?
No.
I feel like, but neither of us are gonna be like no phones in the bed, even though we should. Like I'm sure that would be healthy for us.
You could set like 5-minute timers when you first wake up that you just have 5 minutes of like cuddling or something.
But that's the problem. We don't have, our schedules are never synced. Well, not always, but our schedules are always who the fuck knows, just depends on the day and what's going on. And so it's like, let's just lay in bed as long as we possibly can because I don't know, I might have 4 gigs and then like the next day I just don't really want to do anything. And like I took on another last minute gig. I was like, yeah, I have a day off. And then literally my friend texted me and he's like, hey, sorry, DJ canceled like today. Can you fill in like tonight? And I could have said no, but I was like, yes. So.
Well, I still think you should say at least 3 things that you're thankful for in the morning and not fucking check the news first thing.
Yeah.
And then,
Good start.
And then pop an AirPod in and listen to some vibes.
I want no more meetings at 10 a.m. Like I keep pushing that away. I keep going like, I used to be like, no meetings before this time, no meetings before this time. And now I'm just like, I want no meetings in the AM. I want literally nothing till noon.
Guess what, babe? It's your company. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
True. I should.
Yeah,
I'm so annoyed by every 10 a.m. I have because it's like,
if you don't want to do it, don't.
Yes.
You own the company.
I
David.
know. It's annoying.
They can have meetings with other.
My boss is such a jerk.
They can have meetings with other people before noon, but if they want to talk to the CEO, that's at noon.
Well, it's me and Austin, so take your pick.
Well, we all know who's more of a morning person, and it's neither of them.
I can be a morning person.
The
problem is like here's the real issue, Colette.
Let's hear
it. I need hockey to be available at like a 9 a.m. I need an 8 a.m. wake up, get to hockey by 9, and then play, and then come home and be ready to start my day at 12. But there is like nowhere I can go for that at like 9 a.m. It's either 6 a.m. or die. Like 6 a.m. or like there's random, they've been taking away like the drop-in sessions in Seattle.
Have you peeped in Kingsgate?
No. I don't even know what that is.
It's like a off branch of Kirkland, but
that's far.
Right before Woodinville.
That seems far.
No, it's actually probably not that far from you. Maybe 20 minutes.
But yeah, no, I was happier when I was like going and skating in the mornings, and I could go back to open skate, but then it's like I just feel guilty because I'm just going and cutting up the ice for all these figure skaters that are like doing their cute little spins and stuff.
Hey, maybe you should stop feeling bad for taking up space and do the things that make you a better person for the community so everybody gets to enjoy you.
I like how we're just having like an on-air therapy session today.
I mean, it's what I'm best at, you know?
It's true.
Also, everybody, I go to therapy every week, every fucking Monday. In the summer months when I'm doing well mentally, I will go down to every other week. But in these trying times, I have to see Barb every fucking Monday at 4.
Yeah, I finally remembered what I was gonna say earlier. I feel like I don't want us to all be so numb to this stuff. I'm getting sick of it's like, okay, I go out to these events all the time. I'm supposed to go out and play happy music. I played Where's the Love yesterday because I was like, you know what? It is sad right now. Like, I think everyone is collectively sad and people are just like pretending to be fine. And it's like, where can we all as a society recognize that it's okay to be sad for a little bit? And then maybe we don't always have to be up all the time. And maybe that's what we need. Maybe we can all just be a little sad and collectively experience this immense time of grief, trauma, and anxiety that we're all experiencing. And I don't know, like that's what's been bothering me lately is it's like, and I think it's just connected to my job too, because my job is just to keep people up.
No,
you know?
I'm with you and I'm in the same role.
And it's just like, I want to be sad a little bit. It's not even that I have a problem with being sad. I'm fine being sad and experiencing emotion. I wish that it was more publicly kind of accepted to experience that collective sadness together.
Yeah. I don't disagree. And I think everyone should feel their feelings, because telling yourself you should feel a certain way and not another way is not a great way to get through life. Like, you gotta, if you're sad, be sad, but it's the sitting in it for too long and then you just get stuck there. But what I was gonna say back to you about like everyone being collectively sad is, I think we've been collectively sad for the last 4 fucking years.
Keep going, but yes. Yeah. 100%.
So it's like every week there's something.
Add it to the list. Yep.
Every week there's something, and I think you're absolutely right. I think we are just all numb. So I mean, I've gotten to a point where I was like, fuck it, we're all gonna die anyway. I don't know when. Could be tomorrow.
I thought that yesterday. I was like, I don't even want to say it. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
So I'm like, so fuck it. I'm gonna try to have fun while I'm still on this fucking rock rotating around the sun.
Yeah.
Because I am one little speck in this fucking giant ecosystem, and I've been focusing so much in therapy. I don't want to be sad and I don't want to be angry anymore.
That's good.
Like, I'm trying to let go of those deep rooted feelings, and it's like holding on to a coal, not me, like a hot one. And like when you're mad at somebody else, all you're doing is hurting
yourself.
Yeah, you're burning your own hand.
Yeah.
And I can't do it anymore. And I don't know if that's insensitive. I don't know if that's profound. I'm unsure, but I'm feeling like it's working for me. So
yeah, I'll let you know. Maybe next time we can kind of have a recap on this, because yeah. It feels important to recognize
absolutely
a lot of this stuff. And again, it kind of goes back to just that numbness. That's almost worse. When you're just in the car, you're hearing about whatever, or another thing happens, and then you just thinking to yourself, like, what could I even do about this? Like, what other than maybe donating to some organization or whatever? Is it like, it just feels like everyone's going to go back to work and they're going to go about their day and they're going to continue just doing what we're all doing, because none of us even know what to do about any of it.
I mean, yeah, that's very real. We're all just little cogs in
hopefully
this
today
world.
didn't make any of you too hopeless about the future, but
yeah.
How can we end this on a positive
note? I have 3 more things that you can do to make yourself feel better. Actually, 5. Nope, 4. Okay, I take hella vitamin D. Again, I'm not a doctor, but Google it if it works for you. Yeehaw, because it does fucking help. It does help. I also bought a sunset lamp online.
Oh.
It like basically throws an orb of light that you can turn on to like fade in through different colors. And it helps with dopamine for me. I don't know about y'all, but it wasn't that expensive on Amazon. Also, fun outerwear. I don't have a coupon code for this, but I subscribe to Newly, which is this clothing like rental company. It's like $90 a month. And so that way I can get fun outerwear and still serve looks in the cold. And then calling and reaching out to loved ones when you are feeling lonely. Like, when you have some shit to say it. And don't let it just fester inside of your body.
Good.
Or at least go scream.
I'm going to make a promise to our viewers. I'm going to not check the news first thing in the morning. Maybe I'll text Colette and tell her 3 things I'm grateful for.
I would love to be your accountability buddy.
And then I will really, really, really try to get back into doing yoga in the mornings, because I keep telling myself, I know that would be really, really helpful for me.
It would be.
On a physical and emotional, spiritual level. So hold me to it, listeners.
Hold.
I'm still going to check the news. I'm just not going to do it first.
Please don't do it first. Okay, and then one last final thing. Something that I've been doing for the past year that's really helped me with my sad is being best friends with this guy right here. And being able to express ourselves about almost everything every week we're here on the Coco Show. And thank you to our wonderful listeners.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
For tuning in bi-weekly to hang and gab with us. And thank you, Dave and Tech Daddy, for spending your time and energy on this passion project of ours.
Of course.
It means the world to me, and seeing y'all weekly absolutely helps any and all forms of my mood, personality, and attention disorders.
Great hugs, always.
Always.
And that's always so helpful, you know?
They are. You're supposed to have 12 a day.
12 hugs?
Growth. 12 hugs a day for mental growth.
One down.
One down. I'll give you some more before we leave. All right, y'all. That brings us to the end. Next time we're in the studio, we'll be in our spooky Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Stay tuned to find out more. And as always,
we will see you
next
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, I didn't fuck it up this time.
You did, actually.
Not really. Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
We're real people, okay?
With real problems.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Just like you.
We love you.
We love you.
Get those hugs in.
Get those hugs in.
Find a stranger.
Kiss the homies goodnight.
Hug someone.